How does the critical period hypothesis explain language learning? Have you ever wondered why children seem to pick up languages so effortlessly while adults often struggle? This brings us to the critical period hypothesis, which suggests there is a specific time frame for optimal language learning. This period typically spans from birth until around puberty. During these years, the brain is particularly receptive to language input, making it easier for children to learn and use language naturally. The idea of a critical period comes from biology. It refers to a limited time when an organism must develop certain skills. In the case of language, if a child is exposed to language during this crucial time, they can achieve native-like fluency. This includes not just vocabulary but also pronunciation and grammar. However, if they miss this window, learning a language later can be much more challenging. The hypothesis was popularized by linguist Eric Lenneberg in the 1960s. He argued that language acquisition is closely tied to brain development. After puberty, the brain's ability to adapt and form new connections decreases. This makes it harder for individuals to learn a new language with the same level of proficiency as a native speaker. There are several compelling pieces of evidence supporting this hypothesis. For example, children who grow up without any language exposure, such as those in extreme social isolation, often struggle to acquire normal language skills later in life. Additionally, deaf children who do not learn sign language early on face difficulties in achieving native fluency if they start learning it after puberty. Another interesting observation is that children tend to recover language abilities from brain injuries more easily than adults. This suggests that the brain's flexibility is greater in youth, allowing for better language recovery and learning. From a psycholinguistic viewpoint, which examines the psychological and biological factors in language acquisition, the critical period hypothesis highlights the importance of early exposure to language. It explains why many second language learners who start after this critical period often retain noticeable accents and make grammatical errors that native speakers typically avoid. In practical terms, this hypothesis indicates that early childhood is the best time for learning languages. For parents and educators, this emphasizes the importance of providing children with rich and varied language experiences during their formative years. To illustrate this concept, consider that a child who learns a second language before reaching puberty is more likely to speak it fluently and without an accent compared to someone who begins learning as an adult. Overall, the critical period hypothesis offers a fascinating perspective on language learning. It identifies a biologically determined timeframe when the human brain is most equipped to acquire language naturally. After this period, the journey of learning a new language can become much more difficult, often leading to less than native-like proficiency.